It's the behind the shade show.
Yeah,
There's going to be people who are going to experience these things, but then there's going to be, let's say, another component to it. Let's say there's childhood trauma, for example.
sure.
Let's say that they're always used to their love being conditional. I get straight A's,
Absolutely.
I get validation.
Yeah,
I buy a house, I get girls. I wear short skirts and show cleavage, I get male gaze, right? Like there's all
exactly.
these
Yeah, yeah.
these
And
these
male
things that play a
gaze
role.
gives me value. Male gaze gives me worth. Underlying, this is where my worth and my value is externalized. Yeah, it all comes kind of down there to self-worth, if I'm going to generalize anything, all that comes down to not being authentically ourselves and knowing intrinsically what our value and worth is. We've, right from the beginning of time, we looked outside. Can you give me my sense of self? Right from birth, mom or dad smiles down on the crib. Ah, look at me, I'm so good. Mom and dad are cranky. Uh-oh, maybe I'm not as good as I think I am. We've started that whole thing of looking outside to get a sense of ourselves. And I love that because everything in our world is a mirror. So if we're going to do it, then let's look at it. Okay, so I've created this guy here who's, wanting to give me. Why? Why did I create this in my life? Why did I bring this into my life? And then you can go from there.
This was actually recently. I think she's 50 or she will be 50 this year. And her self-worth came strictly from her job. It was making her sick. She was getting numbness in her arms. Sometimes she got numbness in her feet as she couldn't get out of bed, but she got her self-worth from her job. And then I asked her, do you see yourself like how does retirement life look like for you? She's like, well, I'm thinking we'll be working less hours and continue to work. I was like, less hours? I'm like, we're supposed to work 40. You work about 60. I asked her that. I was like, do you see a life without work? Melanie, she stopped and she was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
She's like, okay. So I was like, okay, so your plan, whether you get into a relationship, get married or not, is going to work until you die. I was like, what if you find someone and they win the lottery? Or what if they win $10 million, $100 million? She was like, I was like, that's the problem. You've been so conditioned to work that you don't know how to tap into any other energy. It's go, 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 go. I was like, when's the last time you took time for yourself? To love yourself, to show yourself love, to be loved, to receive love. And she couldn't answer these questions. And when you mention external factors, do you then think um, we struggle to express our energy in maybe healthier ways? Because as you mentioned, there's burnout and all this other stuff that we only focus on, okay, I got to do this. Society culture tells me to do this, whether I'm in my feminine or masculine energy or otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, just sitting and doing nothing for a lot can just, like I said, nothing, you can't generalize anything. So just sitting and doing nothing can bring up feelings from, I'm just going to put an example is from childhood, get off the couch. Would you get out and do something? Which again is my worth and my value if I'm not always busy or doing something. So there's that thing that comes down is just like just doing nothing has no value. Just being and sitting with myself has no value. So you can take it that way. You can also take it away as constantly working. You just have to go down the thread. What is the root problem here? Could it be an addiction? Just simply an addiction because hiding something else that is going on, that being work and keeping me busy stops me from feeling something else that is going on and something else that is missing or needing in my life. It's just filling up a constant void, but that's what addiction does. I keep going to it. It fixes it for a minute, but it never fixes it forever. So I have to keep going to it. So I mean, it could be so many other little things. So you got to take that one thing and you got to follow it down the thread. What could it be? But I think at the very bottom of it all is worth. Okay. I think if there's anything that I'm going to generalize, it's worth and value within oneself. And that is where it comes back to valuing the feminine within ourselves, valuing the masculine inside ourselves, and not having this really dysfunctional relationship between the two parts of ourselves and allowing them to come together into unity. Okay, so there's a real ebb and flow of both of these energies. And I think if we could get that within ourselves, can you imagine what it would be like in our external relationships? That we have this beautiful ebb and flow where at times the masculine can say, hey, I'm pooped, I'm tired, I'm done, and I'm feeling overwhelmed. And the feminine can come in, hold up some strength, and help her partner. And whereas the woman can feel, hey, I'm overwhelmed, and the masculine comes in and says, I can help you and support you in this place. But instead, our culture says the opposite. You're being a wimp. You're supposed to be a man. You're not supposed to have any emotions. And when the woman falls down, I don't know how to deal with any emotions. I'm out of here. I vacated. So we have to heal that within ourselves, but we have to follow the threads down to what is really going on.
It's like that joke, right? Where women can experience every emotion but anger, and men can only experience anger.
Oh, oh, maybe so. Man, I can experience anger.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm glad that you mentioned that because sometimes you'll hear people kind of shame the other
Yes,
side, right? Like, oh, you're a man, to your point, right? Don't be a wimp while you're in your emotions.
sure.
Well, you want to be, especially as we get older, you want to be emotionally aware, at the very least, of your own emotions.
Yes,
Right? We'll work on being aware
absolutely.
of other people's emotions, right? At least be aware of your own. What do you think is maybe in general preventing some people from even being aware of their own emotions before they become aware of someone else's?
Fear is one. Fear, because there is, like you said, shame, there's guilt. There's also fear of what's it going to open up. Because whenever we start feeling what's really going on, it's almost like you can't unsee what you've just seen. You can't unfeel what you just felt in a sense. There's going to be another step that is going to propel you towards something. Let's just say that that can also happen. Once I feel this, okay, now what? I got to do something, comes in the masculine. I've got to do something about this. Okay, so that's where we're at this level, shall we say. I feel this, now I got to do something. So, and that's only trying to avoid what we're actually feeling and getting down even more further. And then we can just be with what we're feeling. And then we can use our wisdom and our awareness to say, now what do I do? I can still feel this, but I can still make a choice. But right now, most of us are tangled in to our feelings, okay, are going to dictate what we do. And so that's kind of like a real dangerous place and saying that's where we haven't totally embraced the feminine and nor have we totally, okay, embraced the masculine. And we haven't got that in. So where we can feel something and the masculine say, okay, so like I got to do something real quick, because that's the masculine just does do. Let's just do. And that shows up in relationship. I'm feeling this. Well, let me fix it. Let's get out of it. Let's redo it. And so we're doing that within ourselves. We are taking the dysfunction between the two, and it's actually in ourselves and it gets mirrored out in our world.
How do you think then our belief systems about ourselves impact that imbalance?
Huge. I mean, it's so true. I mean, just the beliefs of worth and value. It just those whole beliefs about worth and value, what's okay, what's not okay, what's shameful, what's not shameful, what feelings make me look good and what feelings make me look bad. What thoughts do I have? All of that stuff. We are just constantly, unconsciously identifying with all of it. And when we don't like that, I don't want to identify with that. Shove it down in the closet, throw it away, do something about it, fix it, get rid of it, do it
Yeah,
constantly.
yeah, we put those feelings in the back of the closet with the dirty underwear that's been there for
Sure.
days, and we pretend
Yep.
that we can't smell it. Um,
Hmm.
Another thing that came up as you're sharing that is that if I feel bad about something about myself and I'm ignoring it, in that example, I'm just going to put it in the closet, could then, in a way to make myself feel good, regardless of the source of that feeling, I can say that, okay, I'm going to wear this outfit
Yes,
as a temporary
absolutely.
source of feeling good.
Absolutely. That's just what we bring it full circle to what we said. There is a conscious purpose. Now I'm going to go out and buy this. Now I'm going to go do this, or I'm going to have a drink, or I'm going to do this to feel good. But that feeling bad that's put in the closet is still there all the time. More stuff might get layered on top of it, but it will come out. And therefore, that need to feel good. And that's the polarization. So I'm going to go out here to feel good, but it's short-lived. I'm going to go this and feel good. And if this dirty laundry keeps piling up all the time, there's going to be more things that one is going to need to feel good.